Well, we're going to be looking at Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 through 15 today. And we're just going to jump right into it. This is what it says. It is absolutely clear that God has called you to a free life. And this is in the Message. Just make sure that you don't use this freedom as an excuse to do whatever you want to do and destroy your freedom. And so, see, the easy thing to think of, we've been learning that God died on the cross, that He came for us, and that by faith, if we believe, we're justified. And Paul's saying you are free. You don't have to live by this law anymore where you're condemned. You're free. But then he goes on to say something interesting. Do not use this freedom as an excuse to do whatever you want to do and destroy your freedom. You see, what happens is all of a sudden we're free. And then all of a sudden we're saying, well, since I'm free, I can do whatever I want. Across the books, I can just get away with anything. But that's not the case, because that's not how freedom works. It's interesting what he says in the very next thing. Rather, use your freedom to serve one another in love. To serve one another in love. That's how freedom grows. That's how freedom grows. For everything we know about God's word is summed up in a single sentence. Love others as you love yourself. That's an act of true freedom. If you bite and ravage each other, watch out. In no time, you will all be alienating each other. And where there is where is your precious freedom then? He's saying if you want to be free, if you want to do it, instead of just kind of going after each other and judging one another and pointing the finger at each other and devouring each other and biting each other's heads off, love one another, serve one another. Even though you're free, the greatest thing you can do is love God and love others. And I just want to challenge you to that today. Are you someone who's biting people's heads off? Are you doing whatever you want to do because you just feel like you can, and you're like the judge of everybody, and you're just doing whatever it is and you're pointing the finger? Or are you loving one another? Are you serving one another in love? Maybe you know somebody like that. Maybe you know somebody that is constantly devouring the people around them. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to love them. Love your enemies. Love the people around you. God calls us to love.